Welcome back to the Quarantine
Yeah.
Chronicles
Sorry.
episode. I don't even know anymore. Basically,
Hey, I have the right number. It's 38, dude. It's 38.
yeah, 38, 83. You know, it is what it is. All we know is that today's Thursday. We just got done recording the podcast with Ravi.
Yeah,
We're
Eastern.
straight off the bat. We're just breaking kayfabe. This is Friday. We're talking right now to
Shot.
future.
30 people that watch this podcast. Leave a like, leave a comment, dude. Thank you for
Yes, and go check out the podcast we did with Ravi because that was a fun time.
way better. You'll get some biz cliz in there.
It was a lot of fun, and he's definitely going to be on again. We're definitely going to have other people on. Probably bring back Breach, bring back Brandon for the Michael Jordan documentary, and
We get Miguel, we get Luke, we get the whole clique.
we'll get
Matt Beast,
everybody. We'll
everybody on the podcast.
get everybody on the podcast. It's basically just talking about whatever. Like it's just like recording a Skype call essentially.
It's a life
Um,
podcast. The journey and the entries, the hearts and the minds.
you got it. It's the oh shoot, you're gonna make me forget about it. It's a life podcast. It's a personal journal. It's an entryway to the minds, the souls, the hearts, the lives, and people involved in the world of professional wrestling. I'm your host. My name is Cole Cabana. I'm a podcaster. I am a artist. I am a video gamer, but most importantly, I am a professional wrestler. I
That's
am.
funny. Dude, this topic we're gonna do today has nothing to do with wrestling.
I know, but you know what? I had to do the intro because I know the intro. Anyway, so basically, we were talking about Parks and Rec and Parks and
And
Recreation and The Office because I started to watch Parks and Rec probably a couple months ago, and a lot of people were saying that you got to give it some time. Give it a couple seasons, and it will, you'll start to like it. So I've never seen it before, and I started to watch it, and it was fine. But when I started to watch it, now going into this, I okay, The Office is the greatest show ever made.
okay.
Like it's just my favorite show of all time.
That's mockumentary, documentary series, sitcom, no laugh track, and it's all done perfectly. See, the thing about Parks and Rec is when it first aired for me, when I was watching The Office live. I think I established that. And NBC lineup when they debuted Parks and Rec, it was right after The Office, and it felt like The Office light. You know what I mean? Like it's not
So,
quite The Office, but it's like we're trying to be it.
and I feel like that was always the big argument because people, when I said that, like, oh, The Office is great, or I would quote The Office, or people would talk about The Office, they would follow up with either, oh, it's like Parks and Rec, or oh, Parks and Rec is like The Office. It depends on what you watched first because there's people that watched Parks and Rec first. There's people that watch The Office first, and there's people that like Parks and Rec better than The Office. Like you can tell who is who. And so right now I'm in the middle of season 4 of Parks and Rec. And I watched The Office probably like 18 times. I feel like at this point. And like
So it's legal now.
what?
It's legal now. You watch it 18 times.
Oh, so um, basically, when I started to watch Parks and Rec, I was comparing it too much to The Office, and I was kind of like going back and forth, and I was like, man,
It makes
this.
sense though why you would compare to The Office though, because like the way it's shot, it's
I
the
mean,
same.
isn't it
And
like,
character.
well, yeah, isn't it like produced by like Greg Daniels, or he's got like something to do with it? Like, I feel like I saw his name like pop up on the credits, and it's literally just like the idea is it's The Office, but in Parks and Recreation in like a government building. At least that's what I thought going into it. And I feel like it's still like the same idea. Like if you had to like quickly explain it to someone, it's like, oh, The Office. Well, it's like the Parks and Recreation version of that. Um, and so I waited a long time to watch this show, just because I was like, I don't want to watch it and then have it be better than The Office because I like The Office so much. And so at this point, I'm 4 seasons in. Well, I guess like three and a half. I'm 3.5 seasons into Parks and Rec, and I can honestly say that what I've learned is if you compare Parks and Rec to The Office, Parks and Rec is just a terrible show. But if you take The Office, you put it over here, and you take Parks and Rec, you put it over here. Parks and Rec is one of the funniest shows I've ever watched. I've been laughing
So,
at so many things. There's so many characters in there that are just like the things that they say. Like I'm literally like to compare it to The Office, the same amount of fun that I had going through watching The Office for the first time and laughing at the jokes and laughing at the things that aren't supposed to be funny but are funny. I'm having that same experience watching Parks and Rec, and that's how I can really compare it. Otherwise, you
uh,
can't compare it.
what do you think of Fat Pratt, aka Chris Pratt, aka Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm all jacked.
I feel like from the beginning he was like the comedic like part of the show, and then it soon for me transitioned into everybody else, doing like little things that like would make me, laugh and like yeah, I feel like they're okay. So the other day I watched, I think it's in season three, and so oh shoot, okay. So Leslie's sick and she doesn't want to go. Like everybody's got the flu and she's sick and she doesn't want to leave work and go to the hospital. So so she's like getting dragged out by everybody of her office. And so as she's getting dragged out, she passes Andy and Andy's sitting at his desk. And it is Andy, right? Because like I just had that moment where it's like Andy's from the office.
There's so
Like
many. There's so many. Like I haven't watched the show in so long, so I'm just drawing off memory.
Chris Pratt, his character. I'm pretty sure it's Andy.
Okay.
Let me just double check.
By the way,
And
I
Andy
want to
Dwyer.
unintentional memes Park and Rec have created in the
Oh,
world that
okay.
no one gets
Well,
to.
we'll get into it. So anyway, Leslie's like getting pulled out, and she's going to the hospital, and Andy's sitting at his desk on the computer, and I need to find the exact quote because I do not want to mess this up because I lost it. I legitimately lost it for whatever reason. I don't know why. So he's sitting at his computer and he's like, I typed your symptoms into the thing up here and it says you could have network connectivity problems. And I'll reread that because I was laughing. He said, I typed your symptoms into the thing up here, meaning like the Google or like, whatever the internet browser, he says. And then he's like, and it says that you could have network connectivity problems. And like, just, I heard that he improvised that. So bravo to Chris Pratt because that was the funniest thing. Like, just, he's so confident in his answer. Like,
I feel like
like,
a lot of the show has a lot of improvisers. There's comedians like Aziz
um, who?
or Tom.
Oh, yeah. He uh he just got his job back at the Parks and Recreation thing in the episode or like in the episodes that I'm watching. And then there's the one where oh shoot, is his name Ron?
Yeah, yeah, the boss,
Ron
right? That's the
Swanson.
boss.
See, I don't want to mess it up and like, but like okay, so Ron so the okay, well what's the guy? What's like the real like happy guy's name?
Ben,
No. Ben's like manager, or I think it's like Chris or something.
Chris.
Chris. Okay, so he makes Ron sit at a circle desk, and he's got a swivel chair in the middle, and Ron is just swiveling like around, and the lady's trying to talk to him, and he's just like doing nothing but swiveling around, and it's just the funniest thing because it's just like it, you know what I mean? It's just like the funniest thing.
Yeah,
So like
I feel like
that,
you watch Parks and Rec now.
oh dude, like
I feel like season
it's
2 is definitely the best out of all the seasons.
I don't remember much from season two at the moment because I'm kind of like in the moment with like season four and stuff. So like going into like watching this show, um, so I think I finished season one, and then it was randomly on TV before The Office, like a random episode, like a feature episode, and so I watched the very end of it because it was going into The Office, and I found out that Jerry becomes mayor. So that's the only thing that got spoiled for me. So I'm very interested because right now Leslie's going through her like campaign. So I'm very interested to see how Jerry becomes mayor. And let me tell you, like Jerry is the Toby character, like ramped up to a million. You know what I mean? Like poor
Yeah.
Jerry. like what a guy, you know?
He the Scranton Strangler though.
I mean, like this guy, like I got to the episode where like they show it like his daughter and like how Chris is like, wait, what? Like you know what I mean? Like that's like you're like related. Um, and by the way, like so at first Chris when he would like go up to people and be like Justin's O'Brien, like he would like say their full name. At first it was annoying, but now every time he goes up, Ann Perkins, like I pop every time. I'm just like I literally. That's the other thing he does. I literally he says literally like I mean I don't know like that like they're all like here's the thing when I watched The Office the first time I hated Michael and I hated Dwight. The only people I liked were Jim and Pam.
Because Michael makes that whole show and you don't realize it until the end.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The second time I watched through and the third time I watched through The Office, I slowly got to like liking Michael and Dwight, and now, and I think like it was like the third or fourth time through where it's just kind of like I'm just enjoying everyone, like everybody that makes the show, like like everybody that makes up the show of The Office, like I'm enjoying them, all
Reed,
equally.
Reed gets not enough love.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like
I
the
mean,
random he has, like the greatest line is still, "I know you. I met you in the parking lot earlier." I'll
I
never
know.
understand why he says that line, but it pops me every time. Because when I watched that the first time, I'm like, "What? What? How? What?"
Yeah. But like now with Parks and Rec, I'm I'm able to appreciate each character like and like I'm able to appreciate each character like as a whole. Like you know what I mean? Like evenly. Because
Definitely April. We watched the show.
what?
I'm definitely April. Just like
No, you're just like, well, I don't want to be here. Like whatever. Oh, here's the thing. Here's the other Office thing. I tweeted this earlier today. Um, So 100,000% Ann Perkins is way better than Karen Filippelli. Even though Karen Filippelli has a better name, Ann Perkins by far the better of the two
yeah,
Rashida Jones characters.
time to shine.
Yeah.
Or at one point, you were just Jim's side piece.
If she would have like stayed on and became like one of the most like likable characters in the show, she like that's what Ann Perkins is, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she was able to take the role and really make it hers. Whereas in, The Office, she was kind of like you either like her or you hate her. Like there's
Do
really
you
no
think,
like eh.
do you think if the show is never created, she stays at the office and dates Jim for longer?
Um so explain to me.
In
So like
09,
this
she left in '09,
so she
or she left in '07 or something.
cause
'08.
it was at the end of like season
Three.
3.
Yeah, so that's
So
'07. And then she probably went to go film the show in '08 and then got released in '09. So yeah,
okay.
I feel
So
that storyline could have been drawn out longer.
yeah, I mean she could like they could have moved to New York and they probably would have moved to New York maybe if one of them got the job, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then you could have had that whole thing. That would have been interesting. Like that would have been crazy. Imagine like if Jim or if like if Karen got the job um instead of Ryan. Like that would
Yeah.
have wow. I'm just thinking
And then
about
after
that now.
Jim starts dating Pam, and then Karen just shows up every time, just like gets on Jim's case.
Oh yeah, that would have been a flip too. If
Could have been
if
such a deal.
she would have been yeah, she would have been more of a heel. Yeah, that's just crazy to think about. Like I'm glad that it happened how it did, but like an alternate universe, like being able to see how that would be played out. You know what I mean?
Even if that show was 1 year later,
Yeah,
everything in the office changes. I feel like.
that's crazy to think about because like if that show was probably in the works, like Probably, what would you say, after like the first season of The Office? Maybe after the first two seasons of The Office? If it was like that soon that they started filming.
Well, they definitely have to film the pilot. So, and she probably got whatever for it, and they're like, "Oh, NBC probably like greenlit the show after," and it was like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna go do the show now." So they had to write her off, and the show aired in '09, which means that they filmed it in '08, and
I'm
then
sure
they.
she probably talked about this somewhere.
Oh, well, but then she's in random scenes like in The Office, like remember Goldfinger, and then she's that one in season 5 where Jim goes to the other branch in Nashua, not Nashua,
Yeah,
the other one, can't
I,
remember.
th- I think
You,
she's in two other episodes
yeah,
because it's when they do the prank wars, and then it's the when Michael goes on his what's the thing I'm talking about? Um, like he goes to each like branch and like does like a
3 episodes.
what?
She's in 3 episodes. Michael Scarn. She's in.
Scarn.
Yeah, yeah. Gold.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. The movie,
Why are
the
you
Threat
asking
Level
me this?
Midnight.
It's so long ago.
Yeah. Okay, so three episodes. So I mean, I don't know. It's just she's just much better than Karen Filippelli.
So there
So
you go. Office is better than Parks and Recs. That's the end of the conversation.
well, so
For the debate, if you want to say
for the
what's better,
debate, yeah. If I have to make a decision, I'm picking like here's where I'm at with Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec versus The Office. I bought The Office on iTunes so I could own it forever. I own just about every single season on DVD/Blu-ray of The Office. I don't see myself buying, well, knock on wood or something like. I mean, I'm gonna listen to this in like a year, and I'd be like, "Ha! Remember when I said that?" I don't see myself at this point buying Parks and Rec on DVD or Blu-ray, and I don't see myself buying it digitally. And I'm pretty sure that NBC has taken off Parks and Rec Parks and Rec and The Office at the end of the year on off Netflix, and I don't see myself watching it again on their streaming service. The only way I'd watch it again is like on TV. So, you know what I mean? Like that could like change and I could be like, "Oh man, I should really own this some way somehow." But as of right now, like if I had to choose, I'd pick The Office. But like Parks and Rec is like it's starting to like hold its own weight at this point in like my viewing experience. Oh, by the way, shout out to Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's in it. Like that's what episode I just finished is when like Leslie's like running up against whatever Paul Rudd's character's name is, but it's Paul Rudd. Like Kansas guy. I
look
gotta
at
show
how
his
many
support.
Office character. Look at how many Marvel characters are in this one show.
Oh, true. Yeah, yeah. I feel like I know for I think it's just the two. I feel like I saw an article where there was three. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, that's where we're at. So
Oh, well, one
let
more
us know
thing.
what you think. Yeah.
So we usually ask what we did say. What are you doing tomorrow? Anything special?
What am I doing tomorrow? As in, what am I doing Friday?
Yes.
Same old, same old.
Work,
Watching
games,
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec. I'll
Oh,
be
wait. No. I gotta give a little shout out. Tomorrow is May Day. Um, and one of my favorite bands, Mayday Parade. It's kind of like their birthday, but not really. But it's Mayday, so shout out to Mayday and Mayday Parade.
there you go. I'll be
That,
delivering figures and autographs to people tomorrow. Well,
which is
two
why
people.
we're recording.
Yeah, pretty much. By the
And
time I get back, it'll be too
and you're
late.
gonna
Lazy.
make a comic book video.
I'll probably do that Saturday when I'm thinking about it now.
Well, I put it out there, so now you have to do it.
All right,
So,
cool.
all right, that's it. So,
Full comic. Make a review on.
yeah, that's it. So, thanks for listening. Go check out the podcast we did at Ravi, and
If
we'll
you
talk.
listen to this, comment below. You're